Hi you guys, this is Allison hanging out in my space to craft and bringing you another of my Easter series layouts from the page kits. Now I did change some papers out in this page kit after I had started with that plaid paper. And then as I was looking for some papers for another page kit, I came across this Shimelle plaid, diagonal plaid print, and this rainbow, and I pulled those out instead. And so that was a quick cut. So I had a plan. I went off, I did a large border, and the reason I did a large border is because that egg paper was so busy. So I did a nice 3/4 inch border, and then I took that rainbow paper and tore it down both sides to make a strip down the paper. So at this point I'm thinking, I'm wondering what I want to do, and I decide Shimelle has used this paper before, and a couple of other rainbow stripe papers, and done tone on tone embellishments. So I decide at this point that that's kind of what I want to do instead. And so I will focus blue embellishments in the blue section of the rainbow, green embellishments in the green section. So that comes out really cute. It makes a little bit busy, but you still have some blank space on the other side. You know, there's a little bit more quiet space with the plainer paper that's not on that rainbow. So I'm just trying to figure out, do I want to keep everything in the rainbow? Do I want to put this Easter embellishment to the side? So I'm trying to figure things out here, and this is where I start just laying things in the right color area. And at some point I do go off to find more embellishments as well, and I go through my embellishment. I did cut that part out, I believe. I go through my embellishment folders, my binders that are by color, and find quite a few embellishments to add to this. So I end up, scooting this down a bit, I think, so that the purple can be near the purple. So I've got those purple embellishments. I want them in the purple area. There may be some overlap in a couple of places, but it seems to work out. And then I've got those Shimelle purple glitter thickers out to use for my title. And the title of the page is going to be Meeting the Bunny. She has a little bit of a concerned look on her face. She was never a huge fan of the bunnies. And I had to tell her, it may have been this year or the next year at daycare, maybe it was fourth grade, when she was 4 years old. I had to tell her exactly who was in the bunny costume, and I worked at NASA, and it was our center director, and every year that he was our center director, he dressed in the bunny suit, and she had met him before, so I had to tell her who was in the bunny costume. And then we had another friend that we knew who was the who played Mrs. Bunny. And so I just or maybe she played Mrs. Claus. I don't remember. But I ended up having to tell her that it was just a person in the bunny suit and not really a bunny. And so that she wouldn't be quite so frightened of it. All right, so I did ink everything in brown, partly to tie it together since I had things coming from so many different collections. So the big bunny is from the My Favorite Easter collection by Echo Park. The paper is old from my stash, and then I said the other two papers are Shimelle. So this is a random collection page, I would say. So I'm gonna put this first on wax paper so that I can figure out the placement, because I want it only on the purple, and I need to, you know, nudge it in before that, in front of that Easter bunny. And the top part meeting the bunny I'm going to do in gold, and so I needed to be able to fit that in as well. I love these glitter letters, and in her new collection she has navy blue glitter letters, so I'm definitely going to be buying those. And I limit myself. I don't buy multiple packs of the same thing, because that creates hoards, and I have a big enough hoard of scrapbook supplies. And I'm really trying to use things and not be precious about them. So I was going to look at these glitter ones, but they're too big, so I pull out these smaller ones, and they're Spellbinders letters, and do that in a mix of uppercase and lowercase. I think that works a little better. And this video is sped up at about 3 times speed, maybe 3.5 times speed. It was a long page just because I did so much searching for embellishments and things like that. So it did take me a while to do this page, but I was very happy with it when I finished. And for the meeting, I do need to stagger those so that they'll fit on that paper. So they are staggered. And I'm just trying to get the distance of them. I do make sure everything's centered properly. And the two little strips at the bottom are the branding strips off the two pieces of paper. And they have gold foiling. That plaid has gold foiling, and then that little green stripe has gold foiling. So I do also end up focusing on trying to get a little bit of gold in each of the zones, the color zones as well. And it does look a little bit off, but I think my phone was at a slight angle, so it doesn't look crooked. Well, it looks altered, but it doesn't look sloped in real life. So interesting. This is multicolored, so it doesn't conform, but the pink is at the top, and the orange is at the side, and the green is the blue is at the side. So it works. And I'm just trying to keep all the embellishments in that zone at this point. I felt like that one was just a little too big. I'm not sure I use it at all. I try to use this one. I think I end up not being very happy with it. I do need to find something to go on those little strips, because I had to splice them together. And this is just more pastel-y, so I end up not keeping that there. but I have a little splice. You can barely see them, but there is a splice there, and I like to cover up those spliced areas. So this is a little bit later, and you can see I've gone and found a whole bunch of other random embellishments, from some of them from that Shimelle sticker page. And then I also I have a die cut that makes buttons. So I had some old Creative Memories buttons in my embellishment binders, but I didn't have any of that dark pink. So I found a scrap of paper and made, well, I made 4, but I used one dark pink button. And then I put some twine through each of the buttons as well to add more texture to the page. And I found twine that matched each of them. And I'm trying to make sure that there's an embellishment or something with a little gold in each section as well. And trying to layer some of them. And I also fussy cut some eggs out of the offcuts, the strips that from that white background paper. And so I included the right color egg in most of the embellishment areas. I think I didn't find the dark pink, and that's the only one I didn't have an egg in. But I had to put a heart there instead of the egg. So here I was just looking for something, and I found this cute butterfly to put to cover those seams, and that's the only embellishment I think that I put there. So getting close to done, and now I'm doing matching enamel dots in each section as well. And I pull them from different kits. Just looking for kind of the right colors. So this has some gold dots on it for the areas that I didn't have a lot of gold in. I added some gold dots to a couple of places. So it does make for a busy page, but I think it's fun and it evokes the feel of the day. So here comes real time. Is he stuck down well? We could use a little more adhesion down there. That's okay. All right, so a rainbow stripe with matching ephemera all the way up, just little bits and pieces. Wishing you a colorful Easter. Hello, spring. So that's a fun, it's a very busy page, but I think it's fun and it sort of speaks to the event and the feel of it. So let's get that fully in. Thanks a lot, you guys.